What up? What up? It's your boy Blake Anthony, always live and exclusively on NSPN, Champa Bay TV. I'm your host, Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49. Yeah, I just want to do a couple quick, updates of what's going on and just put my 2 cents on it. Um, of course, I always got great stuff coming up, interviews and stuff like that coming around. So always stay tuned for that because there's always something new coming. But let's just talk about what it is. First things first. Let's start with Baker Mayfield. I told you how I felt about it. And him coming to Florida, man, him being young-minded, maybe he's mature. I'm just going to give him a fair, clean shot, clean slate, and I'm gonna base all my opinions off of what he's done in Tampa. And that's what I'm gonna do. Everything, I'm just not gonna base anything off of anything else. Just what he's done here in Tampa. That is my promise to you. Fair slate. He comes here, they ask him, the first question they ask him is about Tom Brady. You don't want to hear that shit. You don't want to hear that. And the first thing, I'm glad he said that. He said, I'm not Tom Brady. They are not the same kind of caliber player. They are not the same skill set. There's no comparison other than the quarterback position. So, it's just annoying that Tampa media that's been here for so long, they do the same thing over and over and over. With these new guys come here, you already are setting an expectation of a player they've replaced or somebody they kept plays the same position. It's just like every linebacker's got to get compared to Derrick Brooks. Every defensive lineman's got to get compared to Warren Sapp. Dude, that was almost 20 years ago. Let it go. Let it go. Let these guys build their own brand, their own way. It's a whole different team, whole different mindset, whole different coaching staff. Let these guys build their own brand. And Kyle Trask, for all we know, could steal the job. We don't know, but we'll see. All we know is we got a veteran quarterback and you got a young quarterback. So we'll see. Off season is going to be interesting. You're going to find out who's really paying attention with their reporting. Anyways, moving on. Mike Edwards and Sean Murphy-Bunting. We run Tampa runs a three safety set. I'm going to kind of answer both of them in one and then talk about them both individually. They like to run three safeties. They put the other safety down in the box to cover down in the nickel spot, and that's where Antoine Winfield was playing. So you kind of need a rangy guy over top in certain packages that Bowles wants to run. So hence why Sean Murphy-Bunting wasn't really playing that much because they were running a three safety set, and he didn't really fit into that. That's why D. Delaney was playing safety. He was slated as a safety and not a cornerback anymore because he could fill that role in the defensive setup, what they were running, big nickel, whatever you want to call it. Big nickel is usually what you use when you run three safeties. You run a safety down and blitz off the edge, kind of everything that Todd Bowles was doing. And you still can run two defensive tackles inside and then run your two edge guys on the outside. Mike Edwards could fit that. I don't know if there was a certain number he was looking for. The Bucs weren't willing to meet. But you were going to have to change up this defense, essentially. You're not going to keep the same Super Bowl team year after year after year. Granted, you're going to need more secondary guys. You're going to at least need two more safety unless they like Nolan Turner, unless they like him, and they're going to move him. Young safety from Clemson has a lot of speed and versatility. We'll see what happens with that. You don't know until you actually start playing people. Everybody's like, oh, he sucks. You don't effing know. Till you play the guy, you have no idea. You could have your next star on your roster, and you will never know because you're never playing because you're so stuck in the simple-headed mindset that you just got to play the same guys over and over. Why don't you play somebody else? Maybe they bring a different skill set. Who knows? I have no idea. And I said, but you got to let guys play. You bring that Nick Leverett, who stood out, who was never really high on the depth chart and filled in great for the time that he filled in, made the best of his opportunities, and he got another contract. You bring back Stinney, who played well in the Super Bowl run when Kappa went down with an injury. You might have your next guy. You don't know. You got to let them play. Sometimes guys rise to the occasion. They rise to the competition level, and then there's some that fall, like Luka Gedicki. Looks like a monster, look like Tarzan, play like Jane. You do all that weightlifting, strength and stuff, but yet you're getting beasted by big guys. But that's what your strength was. That's why I had an earlier conversation about it's the difference between weights, strength, and physical strength, and the way you apply it to your position, the way you apply it to the position you play, because they aren't the same. I told you I used to play against offensive tackles that are 6'7", 6'8", and I could hold my own against these guys. because there's a difference between weight room strength and the way you apply it into actual one-on-one combat against somebody. There's a whole different level in that. And I try to teach them, you guys that want to learn, and I'm glad that those that grasp the concept, for those who don't, oh well, you can stay in the dark. That's up to you, or think the way you think. You're entitled to it. But there's a huge difference, disparity, and that's why you get so caught up in the 40. Oh, he ran a 4.3. But when I look at your tape, you don't look like you run a 4.3. You don't look like you can do all that stuff you're doing when I'm watching your tape. So clearly you're not applying the abilities that you have to your position that you play. You're not bringing those qualities to work. Just like you might have a different skill set for whatever job you do, but you're not applying it to your actual work. There's a disparaging between the two. That's why sometimes you can't put more into the draft. That's why I had Jude and all those guys on my show talking about the difference between the two. Whether you're paying attention or not, oh well. So that's where it's at with that. But with Sean Murphy-Bunting, he just doesn't fit here. He wants to get paid. He wants a chance to be a starter. Not mad at you. A lot of y'all got hard on him, even though he was a huge key asset to the Super Bowl run, 3 interceptions in every playoff game. Can't take that away from him. Say whatever, talk whatever shit you want to talk about him. That's the hardest spot to play, is that nickel spot. I'm playing man coverage because the guy can go in any direction. It's one of the hardest places to play. And that man, he made the best of his opportunities here in Tampa Bay, got a Super Bowl here, and he was a key contributor on it. So you can kiss his rear end however you feel about it, but he can't take away nothing he did, and he won a Super Bowl. He's a part of it, whether you want it to be or not. Dude contributed. Say what you want. He contributed. So we'll see who fills that role and see who does next. Who knows? Mike Edwards, he had a lot of pick sixes here. There was a lot of plays where he got beat over top. It comes with the position. Clearly, they thought they could find somebody who has a more skill set that fits what they want now. So you're going to have to find a guy either in free agency, maybe bring back Logan Ryan, maybe pick up a young drafted guy, but you're at least going to have to draft 2 safeties. And you possibly might have to draft another tight end as well, but that's a whole nother conversation. There's a lot of holes in that defense that have to get fixed. The one guy you pick up from the Rams, a defensive tackle, that's great. You fill him in. Maybe he gets a chance to play. Maybe he gets a chance to shine. You don't know until these guys actually get a chance to play. But you're going to have to, that defense has to be run stop first, and then you got to work on the secondary because that is the basics of Todd Bowles' defense, is to stop the run and then, work on the back end. You still got both your corners. You were able to get Dean back regardless of what all naysayers, again, Tampa Bay reporters talking about Todd Bowles ruined that relationship, pushing a narrative. Lo and behold, 4-year extension. Crazy how that works. But you guys keep listening to them, even though they try to push their narratives on you and you believe it. That's why you need to do your own damn research. I'll tell you what I think versus what I know. Lavonte David comes back. Shocker, shocker. I tried to hint that to you. There it is. Wednesday showed up. Wednesday they signed a contract. Cheap deal, 1 year, $7 million deal. Lavonte said on my show before when he was with me, he wanted to have his contract run to Devon's, and we'll see what they do. There's no telling what they do with Devin White. Devon's looking for top dollar. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of what ifs coming in this season. Devon's got to he's going to probably play extremely well this season because he wants to get paid and prove he's worth what he's asking for, et cetera, et cetera. But they've got to get bigger. They got to get stronger on the offensive line. They got to get bigger, stronger on the defensive line. You definitely got to fix that defense if you want to win games in this league, and that's just pretty much where I'm at. Sean Murphy-Bunting's gone. Mike Edwards is a Titan. Mike Edwards is a Chief. I'll be rooting for the best of them. I don't remember if we play either one of them, but Tampa doesn't usually always turn out best when they play against former players. They always turn on the losing end, excuse me. And that's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm Blake Anthony. This is Sports Star 49. And when this, I always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys. God bless. And as always, fire those cannons. Boom.